I want to make things very clear when I talk about this topic here in this video, because I'm not making this video as a salty Habs fan who's really angry about what's going on, and I'm out here wanting to tell you how it's supposed to be. No, I'm not really coming from that perspective. I'm just making this video because this is something that is happening. It is something that I'm seeing, and anybody who has actually participated in this, hey, you can go out there in the comments and tell me that it indeed is a thing that is going on. I'm not just pulling something out of thin air here. This is a legitimate attempt to troll by Toronto Maple Leafs fans. So, today we're talking about the fan voting that is going on for the NCAA's Hobey Baker Award. Now, the Hobey Baker is awarded to the best NCAA college player, and every year they do themselves what is a little fan vote that will go out there in helping not really decide the actual trophy, but it will play a little bit of a part into how the people up there in the NCAA decide the Hobey Baker Award. It's mostly just a popularity contest of the fans to see who should be given consideration, because if somebody that the NCAA people, for example, don't really think is worthy of winning the Hobey Baker, all of a sudden gets a ton of votes from the fan voting aspect of the trophy, then they'll take a bigger look at the guy and then consider him more into their own voting. It's not the be-all and end-all, this fan vote that is free to do, that you don't need to sign up for or whatever. You just gotta go on the webpage, click on a guy, and you click submit. But because of how the NCAA season is laid out, and because there are so many people out there from the Montreal Canadiens fan base specifically looking at the NCAA and looking at primarily one guy for their vote for the Hobey Baker, what we have is a legion of Toronto Maple Leafs fans coming out here and trying to troll those Habs fans. So, Habs fans, very obvious to see who they would want to vote for. They're going out there and voting for Cole Caufield. And rightfully so. Cole Caufield, a 15th overall pick in the 2019 draft. You know the story. He's 5'8", 5'7", whatever. He's small. He's undersized, but he's a goal-scoring machine. He is one of the best players, if not the absolute best player in the NCAA this year. He is all the way up there at first overall in points. The second place guy is an overager. Caufield is only 20, so woohoo. And Cole Caufield, being in the spot where he is at, where he is indeed available for the Hobey Baker voting, has had a ton of vote support from Canadiens fans. Right now, if you take a look at all of the players that are being considered for the Hobey Baker in the fan vote, there are like 60 guys here, 60 plus players that you're able to vote for, and you're only able to vote for one every time you go out there onto the website and you vote. And out of these 60-ish players, Cole Caufield is one of the top guys with 15.1% of the votes. Second after Caufield is Jordan Kawaguchi, who is playing for UND. He's got 7%. So his voting percentage is half of what Cole Caufield's is. Pretty great to see the Habs fan base get out there and support the cause. Because of how good Caufield's been playing with the Badgers, it's fair to assume that, hey, there's probably some other guys who aren't even Habs fans voting for Caufield too, right? Well, the thing is, Caufield isn't actually first, because first in the fan vote is United States Military Academy forward Colin Bilek, and he's actually taken quite a considerable lead of 15.9% in front of Cole Caufield. And so, for a lot of Canadiens fans who don't know what's going on, let me just try to explain to you here. Colin Bilek is a 23-year-old right-wing player, 5'11", 181 pounds, who is playing for the U.S. Military Academy Army team in the NCAA. He is just over a point per game, 17 points in 16 games. He's got 12 goals and 5 assists in those contests, which is very good to see there. He's a guy who is doing pretty well for the Atlantic Hockey Division. The Army hockey team plays in that division with Robert Morris, Canisius, RIT, Bentley, Niagara, Holy Cross, and you can just kind of tell from reading off the names, this division is nowhere near as competitive as the division that Cole Caufield plays for in the Big Ten with Minnesota, Michigan, Notre Dame. Yeah, Caufield's playing in a much more difficult division. Caufield's a guy who is a lot younger because Colin Bilek is 23 years old, turning 24. Caufield has a lot more points. Caufield has a lot more goals. Caufield is just an overall better offensive producer, statistically speaking, and he's doing it against harder competition. So why is this guy, Colin Bilek, first in the Hobey Baker voting? Well, it's because Toronto Maple Leafs fans are voting him up. Not because he's a Leafs prospect, no, he doesn't belong to any team. He's undrafted, he's unsigned, he's not any of that. But they're just doing it to spite Habs fans. And if you don't believe me, just go over onto Twitter and search up Colin Bilek. Not even just anything else behind that. Not even Hobey Baker or Caufield or whatever. Just search Colin Bilek and you'll see the tweets going out over here. It's Leafs fans, Leaf fan accounts promoting the Hobey Baker voting and saying, hey, go vote for this guy. Take a look at this. He's a Leafs legend. He's playing for the U.S. Army team, so it means if you vote against this guy, you hate the troops. And there's a lot of kind of just memeing around going here of Leafs fans talking about how great Colin Bilek is, even though I'm 99% sure the majority of them haven't actually seen an Army NCAA game. They're just going out here voting for a guy who has garnered support because they don't want Cole Caufield, the Montreal Canadiens guy, to win it because they want to make Canadiens fans feel salty. And I'm not being salty. I said it at the beginning, this fan vote means nothing in the grand scheme of things. I would think that no matter what happens here in the vote, Caufield comes first, second, or third. I think he'll still probably win the Hobey Baker because of how good he has been, unless a goalie comes out there and all of a sudden steals it away. I'm not too sure, but I'm just telling it like it is. The prospect fan wars have been getting very out of hand because now you have an entire fan base shifting their focus towards a player that doesn't even belong to them just so they can spite the opposite fan base, which to me, it's pretty funny, to be fair. Like, I do think it's pretty ridiculous how something like this can happen, but at the same time, because it is going on like this, I do see value in talking about it at the very least. And on the flip side, you have a whole bunch of Habs fans who are coming out here trying to defend Cole Caufield and talk about why you should vote for Caufield instead of Bilek, and those posts are usually met with the same kind of response from Leafs fans replying to it, oh no, we're just voting for Colin Bilek because he's our guy. He's just a really good player, you know? You're voting against the troops if you don't vote for Bilek. So, yeah, that's what's going on Twitter today. I know Habs fans who are watching this video probably going to get pretty infuriated. Some of you probably have a nice laugh about it. I think I'm having a pretty good laugh about it as well. I will say, though, I'll leave a link in the description to the Hobey Baker voting. I'm not sure when it actually ends, so if it is still up and running by the time I publish this video at 10 a.m. PST on February 19th, Friday, then go ahead and do whatever it is you feel is necessary. You can go out there and vote for Colin Bilek as well. As we said, this vote is not the be-all and end-all. The guy who wins the fan vote is not going to automatically win the Hobey Baker. That vote just gets put into very massive consideration when they actually do decide the winner. And if you feel Caufield should be the guy, then hey, go out there, vote for who you want to. There also are a few other guys as well. VT Mietinen is a legitimate Leafs prospect who is eligible to be voted for, and Leafs fans are not voting for the guy. They're voting for Bilek instead, who has no affiliation with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, yeah, there are some very weird Leafs fans out there. VT Mietinen, by the way, is at 2.8%. So if you're a Leafs fan and you're like, I'd rather see our actual Leafs guy go out there and have some votes, then go ahead and vote for your own guys. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this. It's a really weird video idea. Like, this kind of thing never happens until, of course, it does happen, and then we have to talk about it because, wow, can't believe this is actually happening. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Hobey Baker voting, Cole Caufield, Colin Bilek, the Leafs fans, and the Habs fans. I hope you enjoyed this video. So that's Trolls 99, and bye.